You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Y&R fans, it's time for our weekly prediction edition. We've got predictions for Sharon Newman, for Victor and Nikki, for Kyle and Summer, for Billy and Sally, for Jack, Diane, Nikki, and Victor. We're going to dive right in. These are always based on upcoming official spoilers, and this is Belinda from Soap Dirt. Let's dive into our very first prediction. I wonder if Sharon Newman is going to harm someone. So last week on Friday, we saw Sharon very upset, lashing out at Phyllis Summers for daring to talk to Faith about her past with Nick Newman, all three of their past together. She got volatile. She actually pointed her finger in Phyllis's face, and then Phyllis was telling Nick about one occasion where Sharon didn't even seem to know who she was, and then how she made her this really ooky sweet coffee and then kind of snapped at her. And, you know, she seems kind of unhinged on Tuesday, July 23rd, according to spoilers, and Nick is worrying about Sharon's mental health. And she has been staring off into space. We've seen this. Mariah has noticed it. They've had conversations about it. And Sharon has done in the past when her medication has been off, or before she was on proper medication, before she had an official diagnosis and she was in a full bipolar spiral, that she has done some things that were kind of scary. And I definitely could see her lashing out, and Phyllis in particular might be the object of her frustration and anger, understandably, because Phyllis has messed with Sharon's life many, many times. So I could see her lashing out. I could see her coming unhinged. Her medication has been out of whack for a while now. You'd think her doctor would have gotten her balanced out, but that hasn't been the case. So we'll see how it goes. My second prediction, I think Victor is buying Chancellor for Nikki to run. Spoilers for Tuesday, July 23rd say Victor reveals a new role for Nikki at Newman Enterprises. And on Wednesday, July 24th, Victor makes a promise to protect Catherine Chancellor's legacy. To me, that can only mean one thing. If he promises to protect her legacy, then he's probably making that promise to Jill Abbott. And that means she is probably selling him the company. So Nikki keeps pushing to be back in charge of Newman Media. Victor doesn't want her there. He wants Adam there so that Adam can target Jabot, even though Adam has said he doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to target Jack. And Victor has said, okay, you don't have to, but we know Victor's lying because he definitely wants Jack targeted. Nikki has already told Adam she wants him to give up the chair when she's ready to come back. Adam's like, look, I don't know what Dad is doing. You should go find out what Dad is doing. And when Victor tells her that he is buying a company that's almost as big as Newman Enterprises, Adam's in the room, and this is in the promo. Adam says that I didn't even think you would ever admit there was a company that big. But it definitely sounds like he's buying Chancellor, which means Billy Boy is probably about to be jobless. But I think he is buying Chancellor to dangle it in front of Nikki like a shiny new toy, so she will forget about Newman Media and he can leave it in Adam's hands. This is about to make a big mess in the Newman family, and it should be very interesting. I'm wondering where Lily is going to land in this, if Jill's going to insist that she stay at Chancellor or if she's going to go back to Hamilton Winners. My third prediction, Kyle Abbott may try and strip all custody of Harrison away from Summer. So spoilers for the week ahead. On Thursday, July 25th, Summer takes the gloves off with Kyle. But by Friday the 26th, Claire, Phyllis, Kyle, Summer, and Harrison are all spending time together at the park, but Kyle puts Claire in an uncomfortable position. So Summer was the one who started up with the lawyers because she was upset that Kyle was planning to move out of his parents' house. That doesn't seem unreasonable to do. He is a whole grown man. If he wants to buy a house of his own and move out and live there with his son, and then Summer can live where she wants and they can continue sharing custody, that seems like just the natural course of events. But Summer's like, oh, I'm going to get a lawyer involved. And, you know, he has the right to hire a nanny. I mean, Claire's a little sketchy, but she ended up agreeing to that as well. But then it looks like she's going to try and play rougher. She even tried to stop him from taking Harrison to Paris on a business trip with him, which he wasn't even going to do, except that she keeps pushing him. And I think she's about to get to the point where Kyle is going to push back and push back hard. My fourth prediction, Billy and Sally may hook up to punish the cheaters in their life. On Monday, July 2nd, official spoilers have Sally and Billy talking about the fact that Chelsea and Adam both seem off since they came back from Baltimore. That same day, Chelsea is going to tell Adam she wants to come clean to Billy about what they did. Adam doesn't want to. Billy confronts Adam on Monday. Adam kind of tells a half truth. He says he was drunk, more so than they both were, but they really both were. And then he lies and said that they argued and he said mean things to Chelsea. That makes Billy mad. He storms out. Then Sally shows up while Adam is still worked up and asks what is going on. It looks like one of them is going to crack, either Adam or Chelsea or both, and they are going to tell their lovers what they did and that they cheated. And then things are going to blow up. Both relationships might implode, and Billy and Sally might punish them by getting together. I actually think Sally and Billy might make a very intriguing couple. They both have very similar energy. They are both very attractive. They are both, you know, really tall. They have that similar vibrant energy. Sally's not as much of a schemer as she used to be, but back in her schemer days, boy, she and Billy could have given anybody a run for their money. So that could be kind of a fun pairing. And I know a lot of people want Chelsea away from Billy. So we'll see how this all shakes out. My fifth and final prediction, Jack and Diane may target Nikki and Victor both for payback. So we know Jack already suspects that Victor is targeting Kyle and pulling him closer. Jack doesn't know for certain that Victor has bought Glissade. Sally now knows it because Audra told her, and Sally may tell Adam. I do think that Jack will find out soon, but on Monday, the 22nd, things get really tense between Jack and Nikki. The two friends sit down together for coffee, and then out of nowhere, Nikki starts trash talking Diane and says that Diane firing Kyle is part of some sort of agenda that Jack's wife has. And Jack doesn't like that one bit. He's like, Diane risked everything to come back to Genoa City for one reason and one reason alone, to make up for lost time with Kyle. He's like, why would she risk that relationship? He's like, she had no choice. Kyle left her with no choice. And then he reminds her that Diane didn't even want that job. Kyle told him to put her into that job. So all of that aside, you know, he doesn't see that Diane has done anything wrong. Jack storms away from Nikki and she follows him, and he just chews her a new one. I believe that Jack is probably going to tell Diane about that conversation, and I think the two of them are going to be like, that's enough. Both the Newmans need to pay. Let me know what you think of these predictions. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.